Neuroscientists believe that brains are social organs. They have evolved to enable us to manage our relationships with other people. Everything else is easy. And why is everything else so easy? If I push on the speaker, I will drive Steve nuts. But if I push on the speaker, I know it's going to move. I have no problem with that. Put a person up there, and I push on them. Are they going to move? Well, they're sitting there and they're processing information. They're thinking about me, whether they want to move or whether they don't want to move. They're capable of acting like they're going to move and then not moving, telling me they're going to move and then finally not moving. So dealing with people is much more complex because we have to sort of get inside their heads and figure out what's going on with them. So my first real job, to come clean, before I did this, and it was a hard choice to move into this field, was in janitorial services. I worked at a woman's shoe store, and I was responsible for mopping the floors and cleaning the toilets and putting the shoes back on the shelves. And I got the wonderful wage of $1.25 an hour to do this. Now, I was an ambitious young man, and it didn't take me long to figure out that the money wasn't in janitorial services. The money was in selling shoes. The shoe salesmen, and they were all men at that point, got a commission on each pair of shoes they sold, so they could make a lot of money. The glamour was on the floor. It was not back in the stockroom. So it didn't take long for me to continually pester my manager. Give me a chance, boss. Put me out on the floor. See what I can do selling. Until finally one day, either he believed he should give me a chance or he just grew fed up with me, and he decided, okay, I'm going to put him out on the floor. And so I showed up for work that day with my best clothes on. My shoes shine, the only necktie that I owned. And I had a brand new order book in my pocket and a shoehorn, and I got ready. And as soon as the door opened, I was there greeting customers. I was the most attentive salesperson you can imagine. In fact, I made it a point that every one of my customers not only try their shoes on to make sure that they fit really well, but get up and walk around in the shoes so that we knew they would be comfortable over the course of a day, whether they wanted to or not. And some, oddly enough, didn't want to. After the end of a day of just being so attentive, so on my customers, I had sold 3 pairs of shoes. And when the store closed, I was sitting dejectedly in the back of the store. And up in the front of the store were all the other salesmen, and they were tallying up the commissions they made on the 60, 70, 80 pairs of shoes that they had sold. And one of the old veterans saw me at the back of the store and walked up to me. And he was dressed in this beautiful 3-piece sharkskin suit. Remember those? They kind of shined. At night they'd shine. And he had a diamond pinky ring on as well. And these were, for me, badges of his success. And he walked up and he said, son, and I always love it when people say that to me, son, what do you think you're selling? And I thought this was a stupid question, so I said, I'm selling shoes, of course. He said, well, that may be what you're selling, but that's not what your customers are buying. So what are my customers buying? He paused, and he said, beauty. And with that one word, he walked away. I had made the classic rookie mistake. I had this brain that has evolved over 250,000 years to allow me to sell, and I couldn't even sell shoes. What happened? Well, I fell in love with my product. I was caught up in the physical product, and I didn't think about how that physical product was viewed by the customer that I was selling it to.